First subject, we always open up with a maxim from Chateau Heartiste, um, which pretty much I follow along. Maxim number 45. There's around 200 of these. Be less accepting of women, and women will be more accepting of you. Again, be more critical of women, and women will be less critical of you. This is one of those things where you have to look at women with a critical eye. And sometimes it's easier to look at a maxim or a rule like this that will help you in your overall dating and seduction and attraction, even your relationships with a woman, because women want to earn your admiration or your attraction. They want to earn that because beauty itself isn't enough. They want to have other qualities beyond that because a pretty face is only worth so much. And they know that. So when you're more critical of women, they will be more accepting of you. They are more receptive to a man who is able, because what it tells them is that you have abundance, and it's really abundance mentality. And there's a number of things that you can simply do. Like I said, sometimes it's easier for me to convey to men what not to do that will help them actually fulfill the right, do the right thing. So it's kind of like when I say less is more. If you tab back the total volume of reaching out and the words, number of words, the number of texts, the number of phone calls you make to a woman, you'll tend to hit it just right. And that's why when I say be less accepting of women, I always try to convey to guy, no compliments, because women are so used to being complimented by both online and by randos and by their family. You know, she's beautiful. She knows she's beautiful because she's been being told she was beautiful since she was an infant, and she's heard it all of her life. She does not need to hear it from you. So no compliments. You've been fucking her for a while, a couple months, maybe a year. You can be kinder. You can be more effusive. But in the beginning, no compliments. And that's just a simple rule that will allow you to avoid overextending yourself on women. They've heard it all before. And it sends to her a message that you are more critical of women because you have options. Men who don't have options have to be kind of effusive, and they have to be complimentary, and they're polite, and they're nice. But men that have lots of options aren't any of these things most of the time. You can be cordial, but you're not overly polite. You can approve, but it doesn't mean, you're complimentary. You don't have to, oh, you look great. Make her earn that. So be critical. And I have another tweet that we have in here, like how to do this. But when I tell men, two simple rules: no gifts and no compliments, and you'll do okay. These two little things that if you can just restrain yourself from doing things that are dumb, doesn't mean don't pay for drinks or don't pay for dinner or, ask her for half the Uber fare. Nothing stupid like that, but simply no compliments, no gifts. You don't have to show up with flowers. And I mean, it shocks me and it may shock you, but make no mistake, at least weekly, I get a guy who should know better, who has went overboard with this one girl. He may even know better. He may have 3 or 4 girls running, but there's this one girl. And that's what always tends to get guys, be they players or just regular guys, is this one girl. And they say, I knew I shouldn't do that, but I did it anyway. Like they bought her something. And it bit me in the ass. And it always does. So save yourself a lot of grief of your own and putting her out, because girls don't want compliments and they don't want gifts, because they get it all the time. They're going to get it, but it doesn't have to necessarily come from you. But it keeps you from putting yourself in a bad position and killing her attraction. She'll be more attracted to you the less you do, quite often. It doesn't mean do nothing. It doesn't mean, be scarce or disappear. But it means do a little bit less than you're used to doing, and you'll probably hit it just right. And that's one thing that I've found over time is guys that put this into play, they do a little bit less. They're a little less accepting of women, no compliments, no gifts. Almost instantaneously, girls become more attracted to them. There's just, like we always say, girls say, I don't know what it is. There's just something about him. And that means he has charisma or he has a magnetism to himself. And most of it's like what he's not doing that your average, the other 100 guys she talks to in that daytime do, but he doesn't, which makes him unique. And that's you. So that's the real deal. Be less accepting of women. Look at them with a critical eye, and women will be far more accepting of you. They want men who have discernment and options. And you convey that you have options through not just like taking what you can get when it shows up on your doorstep, like her. You want to be more critical. Doesn't mean reject her, but it just means slower on the uptake, no compliments, no gifts. That'll keep you out of trouble most of the time. Let's see. I guess I didn't include that, and that's okay.